Welcome to the Loveland Port Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's voice of real estate, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Lone Ranger. We are going to talk about your real estate and your mortgage news today. We appreciate you tuning in. And Bruce, I think we should have this show daily. Do you think the station would pay us though? I don't think they. I don't know. I've been doing this 30-something years, and I still haven't yet to be paid.
We got a check coming in somewhere.
But I really enjoy it, and we thank you for joining us. I want to talk about how 2026, there's new predictions on what's going on with that market. I want to talk about contracts. What to know when you do any kind of contract, whether you're a buyer, seller, or landlord. And then I want to dig into summer selling and what's going on right now.
Absolutely. I want to talk about what's happening with interest rates and 3 tips to give you if you're looking to purchase a home in today's market. So there's some things that you can do to position yourself a little bit better. And I want to give you those tips. I also want to talk about what is the possibility that with a new Fed chair coming in, that we're going to see lower interest rates coming about. What's likely to happen with that? There's a lot of people still calling me going, hey, I think I should hold off because I know there's a new Fed chair coming in. I want to talk about that. What is happening with interest rates and what is oil doing? Why is oil affecting mortgage rates right now? So I want to talk a little bit about that. But there's a lot of benefits to this market, and you and I are seeing it right now. My buyers are ticking up. I'm seeing more and more buyers jumping in the market. And I want to talk about why they are jumping in the market and what they can do to take advantage of this market. So,
all right. And what I want to right now, the predictions are out. We had the interest rate spike. And actually, where are rates? Are they hovering in the low 6s?
Yep. You are right now. Fannie Mae 30-year fixed is running between 6.25 and 6.35.
So I'm going to tell you something you probably don't hear around the house too much. You were right. Everybody should have refied when rates were 5.875.
Told them.
And listen to Bruce. He knows what he's talking about. I tell all my buyers, just listen to Bruce. Don't watch TV. Don't watch the financial channels. Don't look at TikTok. Just listen to Bruce, and he'll get you locked in.
Definitely do not respond to somebody calling you on the phone to solicit a mortgage for a refinance and by mail. I'm seeing more people being defrauded by answering these. You're taking calls over the phone from somebody that's soliciting a mortgage. Typically that happens from what's called a trigger lead, meaning that a lender will pull up your credit because you inquired about a refinance.
And the credit company sold that info.
The credit bureaus will sell that to all these other mortgage companies for a fee, and then they'll call you. The problem is you are taking calls and you think that it's somebody that it may not be.
Yeah.
It may not be who you think it is. Some of these people aren't even real people. They're bots that are calling you. So why do you want to do that? So I'm going the opposite of the whole technology era. Do I use technology? Yes. Do I use some AI? I do. But here's the difference. When you call me or my office, you're not going to get a bot. You're not going to get somebody in the Philippines. And I'm telling you, I wanted some work done on my sliding glass doors. So I got one of those things, came across Facebook. I called them. Immediately, I got calls from the Philippines. And I'm like, I just wanted my sliding glass door fixed. I don't want somebody.
All new windows,
I just want a local business person.
Yep.
If that is you and you want somebody that you can see, go to their office, check them out, look at my reviews, then come to somebody like me to help with your mortgage. That's what we're here for. And what Cleve was talking about is getting on my VIP rate watch list. So if you're thinking about refinancing and you're waiting for rates to drop, wouldn't you like a lender that's going to alert you weekly as to what rates are doing and whether you should jump in or out right now? That's what I do. Bruce Woodburn, Cross Country Mortgage, 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Cleve,
all right. My number is 407-352-8118. And when the predictions are out for 26, Lawrence Yoon, National Association of Realtors, head economist for years. Brilliant dude. This is a guy, if you want to hop on, I'm sure he's got a podcast. You can listen to what he says. He updates the National Association of Realtors every week. And he's talking about how it's a slower, less certain market recovery. Now, what I always highlight when talking about this, he is looking nationwide.
Yes.
Florida, I think we are already beating the nation in a few more sales.
Right.
So curve is what we want to see. And literally I think rates dip back down below 6%. We're going to see it even more. But this year beating last year is what we want. That will be price appreciation. We had 0 to 1 to 2%, depending on where you are and what you did to your home last 2 years. I think this year is where you start to see some growth in price when inventory slows. But this, I just think the main thing is, Bruce, my biggest, it's not a struggle, it's what I do. Agents writing me low offers, not knowing how to present a market analysis and say, hey, here's what everything's selling for. This house has been just dropped the price. If you want your closing costs paid, you need to write almost a full price offer. But don't come in 40,000 below list
You definitely
and ask for closing costs.
You know what? You have to have a strategy, and you can't just say, oh, the seller wants this, I'm going to come in at this amount. You could do that, but you're wasting your time and everybody else's time. You have to know what that house is worth. And you know what? I think it's oftentimes take a buyer to fall for a couple of deals to fall apart sometimes until they realize that.
And they might,
because their conventional wisdom means, oh, the guy wants 450 for the house, I'm going to come in at 350.
Doesn't work.
Well, it can
never worked in my years. That's the guy texting you on your phone saying, hey, I got a deal for your house.
Exactly. And if that was the case, you're going to have investors like Cleve and I eating that stuff up right and left. But it doesn't happen. How often does that happen?
This is part of the strategy needs to be to get the home. And if it's the one you like, be prepared. You're protected by making an offer, trying to negotiate costs. You're protected by the appraisal.
Yes.
Make sure you're not overpaying. And whatever you pay for
Home
that house, I
inspections.
guarantee you 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's going to be worth more. And your mortgage, and especially if you're renting, you'll definitely be worth more. Your total net worth will be higher.
Yeah.
So I think that's just really important watching that in our market going forward. Bruce, the higher end homes are actually selling faster. When a hot property, a nice property comes up, they're actually selling faster than the ones that need some work around 400,000.
I personally, when I have a client that calls me and says, I'm looking for a fixer upper, what you're looking for is generally a higher cost to fix things up than you think. And you know what? You flip homes from time to time.
Yes.
You've got to be an expert at what it's going to cost you to get that home fixed up to make a profit, right?
Yep.
If you make a mistake on that, you could wipe out your profits.
Just about. And that's why I always have my fallback plan is I'll rent this. I don't borrow money at 14%, 100% of the purchase price and 100% of the renovation cost. I don't borrow like that. I put a big chunk down so I can, worst case, I can rent that and still cash flow. Main thing I think you need to look at too, if you're a buyer backing up to, if you're going to buy something, and let's say something does need 20 or 30,000, what's the value after you do that?
Of course.
And that's going to be, that puts you at the top of the market on where you're at. And if that house works for your family, get it, then get back to work. And don't spend 9 months in the car looking at 30 homes every other weekend. You're wasting your time. And you definitely would be, if it's not the one, but you need to get a house, get something, then focus on saving for the next one.
Well, it's interesting because there are people that have found a home that may be in the area that they want, but the home needs work.
Yeah.
They look at the home and they go, oh my God, it needs new kitchen. It needs new bathrooms. It needs a new floor. I have a renovation loan. I can do a reno loan on a conventional, an FHA, or a VA. We can wrap the costs into it. Now, one of the things you have to be prepared for is you've got to have a relatively flexible seller to delay the closing a little longer than typical, because you're not going to do a 30-day closing on a reno because you've got to get all the bids in for the work that has to be done.
Has to be from a GC.
It depends on the scope of the work, and it depends on whether it's conventional FHA or VA. But if you have multiple trade people, if I'm getting a roof and plumbing and electrical and a kitchen, these are all different tradespeople.
Yeah.
So you need a GC to do that. You also, on some loans like USDA, that we even do a USDA reno. Nobody does them. We do them.
Wow.
FHA, 203K, traditional and streamlined. You should have a consultant. So on FHA and VA, you're going to likely be required to have a consultant that is going to guide you in the right direction. And the reason for that is some homes, if you ever see a home listed and it says conventional or cash only, you ever see that?
Yeah.
Conventional or cash only. The reason they're doing that is they don't want FHA or VA because it wouldn't pass.
Yeah.
It won't.
And I rarely see something that bad off, but yeah.
But a reno loan would work on an FHA loan. The consultant goes in and says it doesn't pass because it's got broken windows, missing screens, wood rot around the fascia, whatever it is. And they can say these items must be included in the 203K loan for it to work.
Yeah.
Now,
Now,
you think about this, you want a house, if you got the house in the neighborhood you want, it's got the footprint that would work for you, then a renovation loan may be perfect for you.
all right. And I want to back up to that. Now, I've got a gentleman, he's not a GC, but a great remodeler. He does kitchen cabinets. He can cut some holes in some drywall. They lay great tile. They do luxury vinyl planking. They know how to decorate a house. They know how to paint a house, and they do all that. Something like that. Would that qualify? If a house, because usually what I see is houses just need a facelift, like flooring, maybe a bathroom or two, and a kitchen.
If you're trying to add the cost of that into the loan in a reno loan, self-help work is not allowed.
Okay.
Fannie Mae does not permit it.
Okay.
FHA doesn't permit it, and VA doesn't permit it.
So maybe we just get 6% of closing costs instead.
Well, that would be easier as long as it passes inspection.
Yep.
So as long, if you're trying to do an FHA or a VA loan, it still has to pass the inspection. So what I have typically done, if you said, hey, I'm a cabinet maker, but I can also fix my drywall and I can put my own kitchen in, then get a lot of these guys get a shell GC that's going to pull the permits for you and do it for you. That's your buddy. Everybody that's in that business.
Real quick, I want to jump. We almost got a break coming up. I want to talk about your solar panel loan. How's that going?
So it's going really well. So it's not really a solar panel loan. It's an FHA loan.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal, but it's still one of those things. I'm not one of those lenders that just goes, oh, I got this great program. It's great for everybody. It's great for a certain segment of the market. So it's an FHA loan only. It includes solar panels and it gives you down payment assistance. But here's what I like about it. You're going to get solar panels with this transaction. You're going to get down payment assistance with it. You should be able to structure it with no money out of pocket because you're going to get either 3.5% for down payment assistance up to 5% for down payment assistance. But if I connect them with you, you negotiate another 2, 3, 4, 5% in closing costs. I'll get a buyer in for no money out of pocket.
Yeah.
No money out of pocket on a loan, and you get solar panels. But here's the beauty of it. The solar panels, when we do the loan, don't have to be included in the appraisal. They're only added to the loan amount. Secondly is no second mortgage. Second
loan, which is what makes solar panels a royal pain.
Which was why solar panels, why you and I hate them, because you can't refi if they don't subordinate.
Yeah.
And then don't ever do a solar panel lease. And the solar panel companies may not even accept a new buyer if you're trying to sell the house. And you and I even had that on what's his face's deal where
we got so many of them. Yeah.
His buyer couldn't qualify.
Yep.
I got him approved for the loan, but they couldn't qualify for the solar panels.
All right. So what's your phone number, Bruce?
Phone number for the loan arranger right now. You can call me this weekend, 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144, or go to webringyouhome.com for the loan arranger. Cleve.
All right. 407-352-8118 for Cleve Loveland. I can help you buy something, sell something, or manage your property.
Yep. So we're here. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the opportunities that people are facing in the market right now and how you can win when buying a home. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. Don't go anywhere.